Wendy's heart was somewhat unhappy. She even hopes to continue to be Fredman's lover, and Fredman can introduce her to more important people. In this way, with the help of Fredman's aura, she can manage her contacts and gradually become a lady of Orus Hill. At that time, not only will benefit a lot, the Wilson Group will also benefit, and she will also become the support of the Wilson Group and the leader of the Wilson Group. But what she didn't expect was that Fredman only used herself as a tool. In order to ask for a medicine, she had to hand over herself to Barena Way? I want to be Fredman's lover and a celebrity in the upper class, but I don't want to be a plaything of the upper class. Once the reputation of the plaything spreads, then I don't want to climb up in my life. So, she took Fredman's hand and said, "Fredman, people love you so much. They want to be by your side and don't want to leave you." Fredman was very upset with Wendy at this time, because Wendy was the one with the least price-performance ratio among the women he had played with. Therefore, he is now anxious to get rid of Wendy in exchange for the last benefit. Sending her to Barena Way naturally became the best choice today. Now that he has no abilities in that area, he can only watch Wendy and can't eat it, but if Wendy is sent out, if the Way family can really cure his hidden illness, then he can continue to find other women. So he said coldly to Wendy, "Stop with me. I ask you to accompany Brother Way, so you can accompany him. Where is there so much nonsense?" Wendy's aggrieved tears flowed, crying, "Fredman, didn't you stay with me because you like me? If you really like me, how can you give me to someone else?" Barena Way on the side was a little uncomfortable, and said, "Oh, Fredman, since Miss Wendy has a deep affection for you, then don't make it difficult." Fredman raised his hand and slapped Wendy, cursing, "You are just a plaything of Mr. You have to do what Mr. Way asks you to do, and you dare to disobey. Tell you, if you don't accompany me well today accompanying Brother Way, I immediately withdrew from the Wilson family and let the Wilson family go bankrupt. You must also return the money I gave you." How can Fredman help the Wilson family? Back to the original shape, that is what you want. Upon hearing this, Wendy was stunned, and a sense of humiliation instantly surged into her heart. But what's the use of humiliation? Can she refuse Fredman because of humiliation? Rejecting Fredman is very simple. If she doesn't agree, she can do it. But what happens after rejection? After refusing, everything goes back to its original form. The Wilson family was waiting for bankruptcy, and her own socialite dream would also be broken. Therefore, Wendy could only force a smile and said, I promise, I promise. I will definitely take care of Mr. Way." Fredman sneered and said, "You count as acquaintance." As he said, he pushed Wendy into Barena Way's arms and smiled, "Go with Mr. Way tonight." Barena Way hugged Wendy, feeling very excited, and said with a smile, "Wendy, let me open a room in the hotel. Let's get to know each other tonight." Wendy quietly wiped away her tears, resentful in her heart. Once upon a time, Wendy was also the daughter of the Wilson family, and was also sought after by countless people. She also had a proud heart. Looking for a boyfriend would always be the rich second generation of a big family, and she would not even look at some of them. However, she never expected that she would end up like this after she had exhausted all the functions. Fiancé Gerald abandoned her and she became Fredman's lover, but she was used as a tool by him and he threw her to Barena Way. If Barena gets tired of her in the future, who will she be thrown to? At this moment, she couldn't help but think of her cousin Claire. Claire had never thought so much on her own. She had never been in a relationship before, and she was married directly to Charlie, a rubbish. But although Charlie was a bit rubbish, Charlie would never let her be insulted like this. In contrast, she may not be a winner. Barena Way hugged her tightly in his arms and said to Fredman with a wry face, "Don't worry, Mr. Wilson. When we gather the prescription, I will send you the medicine immediately. Help you regain your power." "Great." Fredman finally relieved his heart and said with a smile, "Then I can wait for your good news with peace of mind." Barena Way nodded and looked at the time. He felt a little anxious about doing something with Wendy, so he smiled at Fredman and said, "Mr. Wilson, it's not too early today, or we will be there tonight." "Here?" Fredman knew that Barena Way couldn't wait to take Wendy to spend the night together, and his heart couldn't help but feel envy. But he nodded very generously and smiled. "Okay, that's it for tonight. You two go first." After speaking, he said to Wendy, "Serve President Way well, do you understand?" Wendy nodded humiliatingly, and could only say honestly, "I understand." This night, Wendy became Barena Way's lover again. Although Wendy was deeply disgusted with this new title, Barena Way was amazed at her performance in that respect. This evening, Barena Way also found his second spring on Wendy's body. So, after the harvest, he held Wendy and promised her, "You don't need to accompany the old fellow Fredman anymore. Follow me steadfastly and I will make you a queen."